Hello, everyone. We're going to go over the adjective crummy. Crummy is an adjective we use to describe something that is very unpleasant or of very low quality. And, crummy can be used to describe, people as well. So we're going to go ahead and let's start making some sentences here. So let's say, I can start a sentence with I had. I had a crummy, and then I can add something. So let's just first start with a day. So I had a crummy day. So if I say I had a crummy day, it just means I had a very bad day. So I can extend that sentence and I can say I had a crummy day at the office. I had a crummy day at work, just a very bad day. Um, Now I can also say I had a crummy time. I had a crummy time, which means it was just the experience was very bad. So I can say I had a crummy time at the party. So I went to a party, I didn't have fun. It was just very crummy. I had a very crummy time at the party. My experience was just terrible. So those are a couple of ways in which we can use crummy. Now we can also use this to describe objects. So I can say I had a crummy apartment. So if my apartment was just it was kind of unpleasant, or it just wasn't a nice apartment. I could say I had a crummy apartment. Or a bad car. I had a crummy car. I had a crummy phone. Now you'll notice that I'm using the word had, so I'm referring to the past tense if I'm using had. So to use it in present tense, I would say I have. I have. So I have a crummy apartment, which means like as of right now, I am living in a crummy, not so nice apartment. Or I have a crummy phone. So it means my phone is very bad. It's not any good. So yeah, I would use crummy to describe that. Now I can also start a sentence with this or that. I can say if I have something in my hands, I can say this is, and I can say this is a crummy book. So I have a book in my hand, maybe I've read it, and I would say this is a crummy book. It's terrible. Or if I want to add emphasis, I can say this is such a crummy book. This is such a crummy book. Um, Now I can also use that to either kind of refer to something that is away from me or maybe something that I have experienced in the past. So I can say that's a crummy book. So you're asking me about a book that you're thinking about reading, and I've already read it and I did not like it. I would say that's a crummy book. That's a crummy book. Um, you can also use this to describe maybe a movie. That's a crummy movie, or this is a crummy movie. Something that you are watching at the moment. And it's just a horrible movie. You would say this is a crummy movie. Um, Now you can also use crummy to describe people as well. So let's just say, you know, a doctor. I have a terrible doctor who's just not a very good doctor. So then I would refer to him as, you know, he's a crummy doctor. He's such a crummy doctor. Now let's say you are my coworker and I'm talking to you, then I could say you're a crummy coworker, or you're such a crummy coworker if I want to add that little bit of emphasis. So crummy is just it just describes something or someone who is very unpleasant or maybe just a very low quality or low character. So that's going to conclude this lesson, and thank you very much for following along.